This is Wally. He's not for sale, but you can buy his cousin. This is the W1 from Zero, and he is so cute. Oh my god. He's a companion robot that's meant to be used in commercial locations, but is now also available for home use too. And it turns out he's actually been on sale for a while over in China.
I'm so happy to meet you all. This is the happiest day of my life.
I would kill a man if he asked me to. Okay, so he can't compact trash, but he can talk to you, translate, give directions, and even carry stuff up to 44 pounds for you. They were telling me that some hotels would use these to lead people to their rooms and carry their luggage on the way there. And he's also security. He can patrol your house when you're gone and look around and make sure that everything is okay. But I mean, come on, look at him. What kind of evil person would want to steal from his house? And it turns out it's not like crazy expensive for like a robot, you know, compared to the cost of other robots. It's $5,000, which is like, well, that's like an 04 Honda. That's doable. That's not like insanely expensive for freaking Wally in your house. Will the 04 Honda greet you when you get home and talk to you and be your friend? Dude, a little Wally waiter. Oh my god. It's apparently been selling pretty well in China, so they're going to be releasing them for sale in the US in March 2026. I want him so bad. He needs a good father figure in his life, and I think I can be that for him. And that's going to be the whole theme of this video. CES kicked off this week, and there was a lot of stuff to look at this year. So here's some of the highlights of the stuff that I actually want to spend money on.
Crazy, like absolutely crazy.
Okay, let's talk handheld controllers. So you might have heard of the MCON controller. It's a portable controller that's meant for your phone that was very reminiscent of the original PlayStation Xperia phone, with slide-up controls, Hall effect joysticks, hand grips, full pressure triggers, gyro, 15 hours of battery on one charge. It works with any phone. It truly is a no compromises setup here. Everything was really quality and super comfortable to play with. I've been using mine for a couple months now, and it is phenomenal. It is everything I personally wanted out of a handheld controller. But there was two issues with the original release that a lot of people complained about: the price and the size. Yeah, a lot of people were complaining about how expensive this controller is, as it does have a lot of features. But I can admit, some people just don't care about stuff like grips or gyro, and it's a completely valid complaint. And people also complained that while it was pretty thin, it wasn't thin enough for it to feel really truly portable. I mean, it's not something that you'd be comfortable permanently sticking to your phone throughout the entire day. Well, it turns out they were listening. I got a chance to talk with Josh, the creator behind the MCON, and he got to show me a lot of new stuff that they've been working on. This is the MCON Lite, and oh my god, this thing is really, really thin. It's only 10 millimeters thick, and it's a stripped back version of the original MCON that's designed to hit that affordability mark. And they're using way flatter joysticks just to be able to get down to this size. But there's still Hall effects, so don't worry. I just so happen to have my Red Magic 11 Pro with me, and I was able to test it out, and it felt really, really nice.
Oh, it's very, very soft. I do feel it very, very soft.
So the triggers on these are a lot thinner, so trying to shoot took some getting used to.
That's so cool, dude. Ah! Oh! Jesus Christ.
They only had an iPhone mount so far, but this entire thing is removable. So the idea is you can kind of just swap out the plate for whatever phone model that you have. And they plan to release the CAD files for this so anyone can just 3D print their own plates. I love that. Okay, so you ready for the best part? So they haven't finalized pricing just yet, but he told me he's planning to release this somewhere around 60 to 70 bucks. Compared to the price of the OG MCON, that's insane. But they did have to make some compromises to get it down to that price. Obviously, it's not going to be the full-fledged experience you get with the original MCON. It's entirely made of plastic. It doesn't have a nice metal spring, so you kind of got to manually slide it up compared to the sling of the original MCON. There's no gyro, there's no grips, your smaller battery, because, you know, duh. And the joysticks are thinner. But they didn't compromise in any of the areas that matter the most. It still has the same ABXY clicky buttons and the D-pad from the original MCON, and still has analog triggers somehow. Okay, so that clears out complaint number one. But what about complaint number two? People who thought that the whole package was great, but it's still too thick to permanently live on your phone forever. Well, they've been working on this since the beginning of summer. It's still a prototype, but I really like what they have so far. This is the MCON Slim, and it's just 5 millimeters thick. Okay, hold out your pinky like this, okay? Notice the width of your fingernail. Yeah, statistically, the MCON is thinner than the width of your fingernail. That should give you a good idea of how thin this thing really, really is. An iPhone 17 Pro and the Slim combined is just about as thick as a PSP Go. It's completely made out of aluminum to make the whole thing super duper light, and my favorite part, The Xperia trackpads are back. Dude, I did not expect to see these things ever to come back. I am so excited for this. So these are completely glass trackpads that are meant to emulate joysticks, and it's the main reason they were able to get this thing so thin. Josh was telling me he's really excited for this since the benefit of having trackpads is that they can do a lot of cool stuff on the software side. So we can emulate joysticks or do like a mouse mode for pointer games, and even have the joysticks recenter themselves automatically no matter where your thumb is. Stuff that previous attempts just didn't account for, like the Xperia Play. And yeah, this is totally thin enough to permanently live on your phone, and it's made of really, really premium materials all around. And the price for this one? Well, Josh said they're looking at around $100 for this one, which is crazy. If you've ever had a phone case with a wallet on the back of it, this is even thinner than that. So that's the M-Con Lite and Slim. They plan to be releasing late 2026. I think they actually solved all the big problems that people had that people complained about with the original model. If you think the M-Con is too expensive or don't care about all the extra premium features, great, just get an M-Con Lite. If you want the thinnest, lightest possible setup that can live on your phone 24/7, okay, get the M-Con Slim. And if you still want the best no compromises controller experience for your phone with all the features built in, well, the original M-Con is still available. I can't wait for this thing to start hitting their store. I really want that M-Con Slim. My Xperia Play dreams will finally be achieved. And over here we had the Amazon. Wait, actually, maybe we shouldn't go in there. That might not be a good idea. Okay, check this out. I can control this vacuum using a controller. Xlean invited me to come check out their booth. They were showing off what I think was by far my favorite cleaning product I saw this year at CES because it solves a very particular problem that I personally have, and I can't believe that no one else has thought of this yet. Xlean was also cool enough to help me cover the travel expenses for CES since it's a little expensive getting here. So big thanks to them for sponsoring the video. So this is a TR1. It can be like a standard dry vacuum. What's nice about this is that it can clean both dry and wet stuff off the floor, and it's got a really nice dual motor system that allows it to be this thin. But whatever, you've already seen that before. But I just press one button and the handle latches off and it instantly turns into an autonomous floor vacuum that can clean completely unsupervised. It's got real-time precision adaptive AI cleaning sensors in the front that can detect how intense a mess is and adjust the cleaning intensity accordingly. And when it's done, it can just go back to its station and drain all the fluids and icky stuff right into the waste container, flush the vacuum out with some really, really hot water, and then air dry it so it doesn't have that weird musty smell afterwards. This whole system is so nice. I personally have two vacuums at home, a dry vacuum and one for wet stuff, and it is a pain having to bring out both for a mess and washing the parts by hand because otherwise it gets to get that weird like musty smell. And the TR1 does all of that for you. You don't even have to think about it. They also mentioned to me you'll be able to control it with a controller. Right now they just had a regular RC controller because, you know, prototype. But in the future, they plan to have this working with other controllers too. I had a chance to try it out and oh my God, I was so excited because if I could just sit from my desk and just summon my vacuum with an Xbox controller without even having to get up, I'm gonna be really, really happy. They're launching a Kickstarter for this thing in March 2026, and it literally comes with its own little controller if you back it. That's so cute, oh my God. This thing pretty much solves every single problem I have with my current vacuum setup, and it makes it all automatic. I don't even have to think about it. I really, really want this thing, and I can't wait to see it come to the market. Okay, so this tiny little thing in my hand is a 4K capture card. No, seriously, I got to visit Genki's booth. They've been in the handheld scene for a little while now, making stuff like accessories, battery banks, travel bags, but you might have heard their name because of other controversies. Yeah, it's thanks to them that we were able to see what the Switch 2 looked like months before it was actually released. Don't worry, apparently they settled it with Nintendo, and literally 10 minutes before I got there, the CEO told me that their lawyer visited them to kind of update them on the whole situation. Anyways, they had something here that really caught my attention, the Shadowcast 3 Pro, a super thin and light capture card that honestly feels like endgame capture card to me. Yeah, you've probably seen their older models of the Shadowcast a few years back. They were cool, but the OG models capped out at 1080p, 30 FPS, and the latency was bad enough to not want to use it for long. Well, this one can finally do 4K 60 capture and 1440p 120 capture. Dude, this thing is so tiny. I don't know how they did that in a little package like this. Oh, that's insane. They had it hooked up to a Switch through direct capture to an iPad to show off that you can like live stream since, you know, it's a capture card. Dude, yeah, I was playing Hollow Knight on this thing and the latency is completely gone. I couldn't even tell that this was direct capture at all. But if you still want pass-through, so you can do, you know, like one side with your big TV and then one monitor to like your capture or whatever, they have a clip-on adapter that adds an extra HDMI port, so you can still have up to 4K 120 pass-through. And this whole setup is thinner than my wallet. This is crazy. And I don't even have a lot of stuff in my wallet. The Shadowcast 3 Pro with the pass-through was 85 bucks and 65 if you just want the capture card itself. That's insane. That's literally cheaper than Elgato's cheapest capture card. And that one can only do 4K 30 and has no pass-through. All of that in something that's literally thinner than my phone. As someone who deals with capture cards every day, this is definitely endgame for me. Listen, some of you aren't old enough to remember this, but I still remember back in the Modern Warfare 2 days, if you wanted to do any sort of game recording for YouTube, your only option was like a Hauppauge HD PVR. It was fat, it was heavy, it couldn't take any HDMI inputs, it capped out at 720p recordings, and it was like 300 bucks. For a teenager, that was basically impossible unless your parents like really loved you or something. Now this tiny little thing can capture 4K 60. That's insane to me. When these start coming out, I'm totally gonna be buying one to just live in my bag to be able to capture whatever I want when I travel. I really love this thing. Dreo asked me to stop by their booth, and they had so much stuff going on at their booth, especially since they wanted me to try something that was really, really special. Also, they interviewed me. Oh my God, I've like never been interviewed before. That was crazy to experience. Okay, so I didn't really realize how advanced this stuff in China was. I'll be honest. These guys specialize in smart home appliances like humidifiers and fans and space heaters and stuff like that. But they had a lot of tech in these things that you just don't see from other brands, and definitely not at these price points. They're launching a new line of misting fans that really impressed me. These are some of the first misting fans that could be used safely indoors. So it's a really nice breezy fan with a really nice mist of water, which means it could double as a humidifier too. And the fans on these things were strong. I was standing like really, really far, and only from here was the fan finally starting to kind of weaken out a little bit. And they had this fan that literally can be controlled with the gyro in the remote. I've never seen that before. He also had a super sick smart kitchen setup where they were serving food with all their like kitchen appliances. I really like the Chef Maker air fryer that they had that had a built-in temperature probe so you can stick it in your food and make sure that it's perfectly cooked on the inside too, not just the outside. And it had an awesome chef mode that has set cooking presets for a bunch of different foods. And yes, even veggies. Oh, okay. So you know when you use your air fryer and it can get things pretty crispy, but it's just like, it's like this dry crispy? Yeah, this one has a water reservoir on the top of it, so it can like steam your food while keeping it crispy, and it just comes out just perfect. I don't eat meat, so I grabbed some of the veggies that they had there, and it was, yeah, it was perfectly cooked. I really, really liked it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, yeah.
But the coolest thing was their AI sensory lab concept that they built just for CES. This is their concept for what they imagine the future of the smart home scene would look like. They had a big old touchscreen in the middle of the room where you could pick different environments, and all the appliances in the room would adjust automatically with smart lighting, humidity, temperature, wind, everything all at the same time. A lot of their products already come with smart home integrations built in, so this is just more of a peek of what they eventually want to lead to. The idea that you can just tap a screen and then you're suddenly in a completely different environment is really, really cool. What surprised me the most about all of these products is that when I went home and checked, I was shocked to see how much they were. Like, for all of their stuff being high-end, premium materials, Google Home, Alexa integration, and all that stuff, they have, like, really affordable prices. Like, okay, go check on Amazon. They're not telling me to do this. I really want you to see this. Go on Amazon and look at their prices. I don't know how they're doing it, but it really took me by surprise. I'm really impressed by all the stuff that they're building here, and I'm convinced. I really want one of those air fryers. Kojima laptop. They made a Kojima laptop. I managed to get into the Asus booth, and these guys did a sick collaboration with Kojima Production to create a Death Stranding themed Asus Z13 laptop. And it is so pretty. Oh my God. And listen, I played like a third of Death Stranding. Gun to my head, I could not tell you what the hell that game is about, but I do not care. This laptop is so sick. If you're not familiar with the Z13, it's a 2-in-1 tablet / laptop that has a completely removable keyboard from it, and it is beefy. It's got an AMD Ryzen AI Max 395 Plus, which, okay, that doesn't mean anything to normal people, but it basically means this is one of the, I think, only chips with integrated graphics that actually has enough graphics power to play games at 1440p and like high settings. It's the equivalent of basically having a PS5 in tablet form. And you can tell a lot of time went into making every detail just right. This thing feels more like a piece of jewelry than a laptop. And it comes in this badass carrying case for it that looks so cool, completely themed like one of the packages in the game. Like, imagine whipping this out in class or something. I love it. It's so dramatic. They're also coming out with some matching accessories with the laptop, like a Death Stranding headset and a cool wireless mouse. They even had the statue signed by Kojima and everything.
His skin touched that.
It did, yeah.
I will say the original Z13 already starts at $2,000, so this is going to be a pretty expensive setup since it's like a limited edition. But I love when companies put a lot of time into making the device pretty and functional. I really want more cool stuff like this, please. Okay, side note, they had an awesome Hatsune Miku collab last year, and I desperately want more stuff like that here. Asus, if you're watching, hey, bro, I'll build a Miku PC for you. I don't care. I would love to do cool stuff like that. Ugreen asked us to stop by their booth this year, and okay, they've been doing some incredible stuff to further expand my self-hosting everything journey. So I was really excited to check out what they had this time. So you probably know Ugreen for their really high quality battery banks and chargers. Well, last year they started trying their hand at NAS systems, which if you're not super familiar, they're like your own personal cloud that you keep at home without having to pay for any subscriptions like iCloud or Google Photos or everything. And this year they were showing off that they're starting to expand now with even more cool stuff that shows me that they're really committed to the whole self-hosted ecosystem. I've been running one of their 4-bay NAS sync systems in my house for about a year now, and it has been pivotal in starting my personal self-hosted journey. I've been able to store and organize all my video footage, my personal photos, movies, TV shows, music, all with this little thing. Like, I've canceled a lot of subscriptions since owning this thing. The big reason is because Ugreen has a whole bunch of built-in tools to help you organize and search your files, scan them for information, transcribe voice memos, detect faces and other information in photos, recognize them in files, and even a new assistant called Yulia that lets you talk to your database to ask for summaries or search things in your file. And you know what the best part of all of this is? It's all local. It never leaves your house or internet unless you explicitly want it to, which is huge for me. Well, this year they're adding 2 more systems to their NAS line, the IDX 6011 and 6011 Pro, and an awesome little touchscreen that can display drive health, activity monitors, and a bunch of other useful info. The Pro series also comes with some beefy hardware now too, a full Intel Core Ultra 7 inside, which means it can totally be your main home server too if you wanted. But what I was really excited to see is that these NASs now have Oculink ports, and they're coming out with their own GPU docks. So you can hook up an old GPU that you might have lying around and create your own monster LLM with old Llama, or use it as a dedicated transcoding station, all running locally. It's really, really cool. Their new NAS sync systems are launching in March on Kickstarter. Check it out in the description. You can leave like a $30 deposit if you want to secure one, in addition to some really great early bird pricing. It's really, really nice. Now, what I was really surprised to see is they're also getting into the home camera business. I have been dying to find a way to disconnect from stuff like my Wisecam and all their weird subscription services. They're launching with a couple indoor models, a doorbell model, and an outdoor one that had some crazy hardware on it. And again, they all follow the same philosophy as their NAS AI systems, so it can detect packages and people, record and take pictures to store right on your NAS, and it can detect intruders and risk assessment, so that way if someone gets a little bit too close.
You are entering private property.
Oh, yeah.
All of this combined with a bunch of other features like voice assistant, night vision, video calling, smart detection, and again, all of it works offline, locally. Your stuff stays at home without having to send it to some random server in Wisconsin. As someone who's been trying to detach from as many services as possible, the fact that the system works all without having to leave my network is amazing. And best of all, no subscriptions. The only thing is that they'll need to launch it at pretty competitive prices to be able to make it worth it, because they're brand new to the scene. But I'm still really excited to integrate this with my home lab back at home. I genuinely believe in their stuff, and I really hope they keep expanding the ecosystem, because these guys are one of the few companies trying to pursue the idea of hosting everything locally. I saw a lot of really cool stuff at CES this year. They had bots that could dance, bots that could fight, and bots that could phone rot? All right. But I'd be lying if I said that the vibe didn't feel a little bit different this year. Like, people walked a little slower, the halls were a little bit emptier. Like, I was walking around feeling this whole, like, con had a bit of like a looming feeling over it, that all the stuff that you see here are gonna be either just a little bit more expensive next year or pushed back because they can't source the hardware required to actually make it. And it was really weird seeing that contrasted directly by all of the big things that are being pushed by AI this year. Well, at least the products were like cool and innovative and stuff, right? Well, not exactly. I noticed a lot of them were kind of playing it safe and only made about marginal updates to their existing products instead of the usual 10x jumps that we're used to seeing in a lot of these things. Or just added AI to it that, I'll be honest, a lot of the time wasn't really impressive. But I don't want to end this video kind of negatively though. The things that I did see that were doing pretty cool stuff were usually pretty small or in the back or they just had a very small booth, and they were always super passionate about what they were building. I really hope that we can see more of that next year because there is still a lot of innovation to be uncovered right now. It's just being held back right now because of the unfortunate hardware issues that the whole industry is facing right now. Anyways, I got an awesome video around PC gaming on phones coming up really, really soon. The scene has gotten way more accessible since I covered it last year. You don't want to miss it, so click over here to check it out, and thanks for watching.